Now, we all know the Arizona Coyotes just recently got relocated to the state of Utah and overall have been a pretty poverty franchise since the beginning. I mean, they did make one conference finals in 2012, but outside of that, they were a very bad hockey team for a very long time, but that is all going to change as I am bringing them back to the NHL, rebranding them, giving them new jerseys, and giving them a new perspective as I'm going to build a Stanley Cup contender here in Arizona. I'm literally going to be doing the unthinkable. We are going to try to make the Arizona Coyotes not great again, but great for the very first time in their franchise's history. You guys know the deal already. Rate the jerseys 1 to 10. Honestly, I think they're better than what they had before. The black jerseys I never really liked, and the old red ones that they had were okay, but I prefer these over the ones they had. I think it looks pretty clean. It creates a great atmosphere for the city of Arizona. I don't even know if it's a city. The Rangers would end up going on and winning the Stanley Cup, beating Colorado in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. It seems like Columbus will have the honor of drafting Macklin Celebrini. San Jose was so close as well. They actually dropped down from first place to second, which is tough. I believe with the 8th overall pick, the Arizona Coyotes are going to take Tej Aginla from the Kelowna Rockets. He's a top 6 high, also NHL ready at the moment. He's a grinder, so let's add him to the team. We know Jerome was a very gritty player, and there he is, top 6 forward, high, 78 overall, even though that's very hard to see. I don't know why it's white. We got to go with the goalie that we know is elite medium potential, Emil Vinny. Welcome to the Arizona Coyotes. Hopefully can be the starter of the future. Right now, oh my god, Vinny will be a 74 overall at elite medium potential. Heading into the first season as a GM, we got Keller, Cooley, and Gunther on the first line. We got a +5 already with an 85, 84, and 90. We got Maselli, Bukestad, Schmaltz, Barrett Hayton, who I could move up to that second line considering he is pretty young. Also, Tej Aginla will make his NHL debut, starting out on that fourth line with Kerfoot and Stenlund. Honestly, the depth on this team isn't bad, but obviously we don't have any top-end talent defensively. Obviously, Sergachev is our best defender. I would like to bring up Simashev and start him maybe on the third-line pair. And then in goal, we have Connor Ingram with Vejmelka as our backup. So we're a very mid-team at the moment, but hopefully in 3 to 4 seasons, we can start contending for a Stanley Cup. 33, 36, and 5, very similar record. We started off way worse, but I mean, nearing the end of the season here, we're actually coming along and winning a lot of games, but we are not going to make the postseason. Now we are going to end up finishing as the 7th best team in the Central, a record of 36, 40, and 6. Only 78 points. Chicago was the best team in year number 2 in this division, winning 50 games. If we take a look at the entire NHL, the Oilers won the President's Trophy, 55 wins. The Rangers were up there as well, Chicago, Tampa Bay, and Toronto. And at the bottom, we have New York Islanders, San Jose. Arizona is down here as the 25th team in the league. Clayton Keller is going to lead our team, 23 goals, 65 points. Maselli actually at 61 on that second line, which is nice. Dylan Gunther had a good rookie year. Logan Cooley was all right, I guess. Barrett Hayton, I mean, he was good. Tej Aginla put up 23 goals as a rookie. That is very nice. And in goal, Ingram rocked a 907. We only had one shutout out of any of our goaltenders for the entire season. That is crazy. Well, I guess this is the reason Chicago won 50 games. Connor Bedard leading the league in scoring in his second season, just like Crosby, just like McDavid, 109 points. Adam Fox had 106. Brayden Point was up there, as well as Aho. Seth Jarvis had 97. And if we take a look at the goals, Seth Jarvis is actually going to lead with 48 tucks. Shaq Hyman had 47. Connor Bedard, 46. Matthews, only 44. Wow. The Devils would end up going on and beating the Vancouver Canucks in Game 7 to capture Jack Hughes' first ever cup in his career. So shout out to New Jersey. Adam Fox is going to win the Ted Lindsay, the Hart, and the Norris Trophy, while the Art Ross will go to Bedsy, Maurice Richard to Jarvis, the Conn Smythe to Jesper Bratt, the Vezina to Stu Skin Daddy Skinner, and the Selke will go to Alexander Barkov. Where are we going to land here? We got the 8th overall pick, so we're literally selecting the same spot that we were last season. We could try to move up, maybe to 5th or 6th, something like that. I don't think we're going to be able to get the Islanders' first overall pick. We are trying to go after the 2nd overall pick, which is owned by the Seattle Kraken. So we're going to give up a 2030 first, this year's 2nd overall or 2nd round pick, 40th overall, and then 2 other 2nd round picks. Let's see. Trade rejected, so we're probably going to have to add in a player. We will give up the 28-year-old John Marino in the trade to make it go through, and they still do not want to do this. Dear God, Seattle, give up the 2nd overall pick. All right. Throw in 2 first rounders to make this trade go through, and they're still totally unwilling, so we're going to have to add in something crazy. It's probably between Rybikin and Wozniak. I think I'm going to go with the sniper. He's also NHL ready at the moment, and we know absolutely nothing about Rybikin, so I'm going to take him with the 8th overall pick. 77 overall, only top 6 potential, which isn't great, but I'll take that. So as we move on to year number 2, the same exact first line, Gunther, we locked him up for 8 long years at like 5.6 mil. He'll be alongside Cooley and Keller. Iginla's up to an 80 alongside Dome and Schmaltz, but I think I might throw Maselli up there. He had a very good season last year. And then our bottom 6 isn't great, so I might call up some of our young prospects, especially Butt. I'm going to throw him up there. Barrett Hayton, you can stay. What are you, top 6 low? Yeah, I'm not going to move him up. Elite low for Josh Doan. Is Josh Doan that good of a prospect? God damn. Kessler Ring, we got to bring up Simashev. I don't know why he's down in the minors. And then in goal, we got Connor Ingram and Thornton as our backup. We locked up Barrett Hayton long-term for 8 years. Matthias Maselli's back for 3 more seasons. We got Kessler Ring for 8 years. And Logan Cooley is locked up for an 8-year massive extension. 9.2 mil, I believe. We are now currently at the trade deadline. We know Gavin McKenna will be the first overall pick. Minnesota, the worst team in the league, going after their first round pick. So for our first, a second, third, another third, and Mikhail Sergachev, and we got Jake Middleton in there just to make salaries work. And the trade has been accepted from Mini, as we now hold on to their first round pick. Predictably, yet again, Arizona was pretty bad. 26, 44, and 12. 64 points on the season. Second last in the division, as Minnesota was the worst team, not only in our division, but also the entire NHL. So they still could honestly steal. We probably shouldn't have traded away our first rounder. That was honestly a pretty stupid idea now thinking about it, considering we got Arizona and Minnesota. We could fall back. We could literally still fall back. Columbus was bad. At the top of the league, we got Edmonton, New Jersey, and Colorado. Dylan Gunther at 54 points in the season, tied with Josh Doan leading our team. Clayton Keller only at 49. This is another guy that we could get rid of if we want to move along in our rebuild. TJ Ginla, offensively, wow, Cooley took a step back. Pretty much everybody took a step back, as we were not a good offensive team. Vinny got 18 games in, which is beautiful. He actually had a 912 save percentage, which is nice. Jack Hyman will lead the league in goal scoring, tied with Tommy Egg Matthews at 59 apiece, but he will lead in points with 107, followed by McDavid's 104 and Nathan McKinnon, who also had 104. And the Devils are going to end up going back-to-back, winning their second Stanley Cup of the video, dominating the St. Louis Blues, who are the murder capital of the United States. Shaq Hyman will take home the Ted Lindsay, the Art Ross, and the Hart Trophy. The Maurice Richard also will be a tie between him and Matthews. The Norris to Quinn Hughes, Conn Smythe will end up going to Jesper Bratt, Shesterkin the Vezina, and the Selke to Ryan O'Reilly. Shout out Timmy's. Arizona, we do get the first overall pick. Thankfully, we did not make a mistake. We would have actually slotted down to the third overall pick if we just kept our first rounder. It is an easy pick, first overall here. Gavin McKenna, we know he's like franchise high. He's unknown, so we did not even scout him, but obviously I'm going to take him with the first overall pick. He's an 84 overall with franchise medium potential. Trying to get the 4th overall pick and go after a power forward. We got Keller, a 2nd, 4th, 5th, and a 3rd from 2027. And there we go. Columbus accepted. That might have been a slight overpay, but I'm going after this elite medium potential power forward who's NHL ready and got a similar style to Vladimir Tarasenko. 79 overall. Belchitz, a welcome to Arizona. Harrison Bottiger from the United States. Starter high, could be elite medium. Let's see what he is. He's elite high at a 71 overall. There it is. There is our starter of the future. Screw Vinny. Now we locked up Doan for 6 years on a $7.4 million deal. We signed our prospects Belchitz. Gavin McKenna, welcome to the team. You're going to do wonders for this organization. And there we go. We went out in the offseason and got a franchise 93 overall Jack Eichel, who's extremely happy to accept my offer with the sole purpose of trading him to get a nice piece back. Now, this could be a blockbuster trade if I do say so myself. I got Jack Eichel for one purpose, and that was to trade him. We got Eichel, Cooley, a 1st, 2nd, and another 2nd for Connor Bedard and Taylor Hall from the Chicago Blackhawks. Totally unwilling This is my last try at getting Connor Bedard. I retained half of Jack Eichel's salary to see if the trade value will go a little bit higher. We got Cooley first, second, and Dursey for Bedard, Pajot, and Boyd from the Chicago Blackhawks. Some changes were made to the trade salaries, but Chicago Blackhawks are still not interested at the deal. We got an absolute blockbuster here. Eichel, Dursey, 3 seconds for Palat, Mercer, and Luke Hughes, but basically only Luke Hughes from the New Jersey Devils. Let's see. Will they accept my offer? And there it is. I doubt anybody will think New Jersey came out on the short end of the stick. I mean, who's going to tell them? Now, heading into the third season, our first line, we got a +5 with Gunther, McKenna, and Cooley, 89, 84, and 85. Then we got Doan alongside Belchi and Wozniak. TJ Ginla will have to slot down on the third line alongside Barrett Hayton and Dawson Mercer. And then our fourth line is what it is. I mean, defensively, we got Simashev, Hughes, Marino, Valimaki, Kesselring alongside Soderstrom. And then in goal, Vinny is our starter. Not very good. And our backup will be Michael Harabel. And year number 3, we are again going to be 7th in the Central. We have been that for the last 3 seasons, 35, 40, and 70. Now, yet again, we are going to end up finishing 7th in the Central, 35, 40, and 7, 77 points on the season. And yet again, missing the playoffs as Colorado would be the best team in our division. And for the entire NHL, it was also the Avs. Logan Cooley will lead our team with 72 points as well as 28 goals. Gavin McKenna had 64, Hughes 58, Dylan Gunther. A lot of our young guys are producing and hopefully growing in overall and trade value. We got Vinny, who played 70 games damn near, put up a 908, which is very respectable, as well as 3 shutouts on the season. Cale Makar will lead the league in scoring with 119 points, followed by Bedsy's 112, Rantanen had 110, McKinnon 108, and Draisaitl 104. And on the goal side, Tomiak will lead with 57 tucks on the season. Bedard had 56, Hyman 45, and Wyatt Johnston 45 as well. Shout out to Adam Fantilli, first 40-goal season, I believe, in his NHL career. 40 goals, 63 points. Fantilli is a monster. 93 overall franchise medium potential. Somehow, some way, the Buffalo Sabres did go all the way, dominating the Vancouver Canucks in 5 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Shout out Buffalo, man. They've been through the absolute ringer, and now they have a Stanley Cup to show for it. Cale Makar will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy, as well as the Norris. Matthews will take home the Maurice Richard, the Conn Smythe to Rasmus Dahlin, Skinner the Vezina yet again, and Barkov the Selke. We will be selecting yet again the 8th overall pick. We actually fell down 2 slots from 6 to 8, which is not great, but I mean, we pretty much got our future set. Now, considering scouting is on auto, everybody is unknown, I'm just going to take Brock Cripps with the 8th overall pick. This draft so far has been pretty good. Let's see what he is. Elite medium to a defenseman and 73 overall. So that is a W pickup. We locked up Dmitry Simashev, Daniel Butt, Lamoureux, we qualified him. Bottinger, who is the goaltender of the future. It's been a dream of mine to join this team. I don't think anybody has ever said that about the Arizona Coyotes, but it is what it is. No! We lost out on the Cale Makar sweepstakes. He is headed to the Pittsburgh Penguins of all teams, but luckily we did not miss on Quinn Hughes. He accepted my offer. Welcome to Arizona. Now, we are in year number 4. I think we're probably going to have the biggest jump so far of the video. We got McKenna, Cooley, Wozniak on the first line. A sniper, playmaker, and another playmaker. And then we got Iginla, Doan, Belchi, Gunther, Butt alongside Mercer. So our 4 core is nice. Defensively, we're very top-heavy with the Hughes brothers, a 95 and 91. And then we got Simashev, who is an 87, but we need to find that second D-pair partner for him. And then if we take a look at our goalies, a little bit of a weak point. ML Vinny will be our starter at an 82. And Bottinger, who's the goalie of the future, elite high. He's going to play as the backup for his rookie season. You know, surprisingly, Arizona had a terrible year. I mean, 34, 38, and 10, 78 points, dead last in the division, so no jump for this team yet, but it will be coming soon. Don't forget about that. Chicago was the best team in our division, winning 46 games, and for the entire NHL, it was the Toronto Tomiaks with 55 wins. Buffalo had 48, Edmonton 47, Chicago was up there, New York, and Winnipeg, and if we take a look at the bottom, we were the second worst team in the league. Only Seattle had a worse season than us. That is tough, man. Gavin McKenna will lead our team, 24 goals, 71 points. Quinn Hughes at 69, Cooley 55, Doan had 54, also 20 goals. TJ Ginla put up a 30-goal season as a grinder. Or no, he's a power forward, never mind. Wozniak at 47, Luke Hughes had a very bad year, and in goal, Vinny put up a 904, and Bottinger only played 21 games, but I want to develop him slowly. Evan Bouchard will lead the league in scoring, 113 points, a monster season by the Bouch Bomb. McKinnon had 112, McDavid 103, Point 102, Bedard had 100, and if we take a look at the goal side, Matthews put up 53, tying alongside the best goal scorer in the league, which is Connor Bedard. Now he's 22 years old. We had an all-Canadian Stanley Cup Finals, but the Toronto Tummy Aches will beat the Oilers in 6 games in the finals, so I guess that joke about Matthews' hairline being farther than he's ever gone in the playoffs no longer is valid, as he finally has a Stanley Cup. Bouchard is going to dominate, winning basically all the awards. Matthews, the Maurice Richard, the Conn Smythe will go to Mitch Marner, so suck it to all you Marner haters. Sebastian Casa, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Will Smith from San Jose. We unfortunately slotted down to the 3rd overall pick. Philly went from 5 to 1, so shout out to them, but we again are a very high draft pick. I would rather go after a defenseman with the 3rd overall pick in the draft. Patrick Erat would be perfect. We are loaded offensively with a lot of forward prospects, so he is medium elite potential, 78 overall, so he's probably going to play on the team next season. Our time is definitely going to come. Take a look at our prospect pool here. Everybody, franchise, elite, 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 elite. I mean, we are absolutely loaded. One of these seasons, we are going to break out and become a Stanley Cup contender, maybe even possibly a dynasty. We locked up Michael Kesselring to a extension for, I believe, 3 years. Quinn Hughes is locked up, and we got Dutta back. Cripps, who signed him, he's a prospect. Erat, probably going to start in the NHL, we'll sign him. Vinny rejected the contract renewal. He wants to test the free agent market. 5 years in, it is time to start winning. We got Cooley, McKenna, and Belchi on that first line. I might move off of Logan Cooley and go out and get a sniper because Gavin McKenna is basically a better version of Logan Cooley. And then we got Doan, Wozniak alongside TJ Ginla. Gunther down on that 3rd line with Butt and Mercer, Valimaki, Middleton, and Holiday. Defensively, we got the Hughes brothers on that first D pair, +4. Chemistry, Simashev, Kesselring, Dutta, and Lamoureux. And then in goal, we got Vinny, who now is up to an 86 overall. And our future of the franchise, Harrison Bottinger, 79, making his 2nd year in the NHL. His debut was last season, I believe. Now I'm trying to get rid of Logan Cooley. We got Cooley, a 2nd and a 3rd for a sniper, and Grebeshikov from the Ottawa Senators, medium elite potential. Shooting's 5 stars, 90s across the board, and we got to take back Morgan Geekie to make the salaries work. And luckily for me, Ottawa had no issue going through with that deal. For the first time in the video, it is time to name a captain here in Arizona. There are some viable options. Doan was the captain already, so that would actually be cool considering Shane Doan is the all-time leader for the Arizona Coyotes. But I think I'm going to give him an A. Who else is going to get an A? We got to have a defenseman as an A. So Quinn Hughes. Actually, no, Luke Hughes. I'm going to give an A to Luke Hughes, and then the captain will be named. I mean, who else would it be? Gavin McKenna. Welcome to Arizona. You are the new face of the franchise and the captain of the Coyotes. Finally, it has taken us 5 long seasons, but we have made the playoffs. 43, 35, and 4, 90 points on the season. 4th in our division. Chicago was the best team in our division. Toronto for the entire NHL, 57 wins there, followed by Chicago, Anaheim, Boston, Florida, and Dallas. Evan McKenna will lead our team, 79 points in the season. There we go. 37 goals for Victor, the sniper that we picked up from Ottawa. Quinn Hughes put up 60 points, only 3 goals, which is wild. Belchi had 59 points. Galen put up 33 goals himself. He actually sims very well. Doan was okay. And if we take a look at our goalie, Vinny rocked a 917 with 2 shutouts. And Bottinger was not even that bad, rocking a 911 save percentage. Evan Bouchard is going to have a monster season yet again. 115 points. McDavid had 112. Nylander 104. McKinnon 100. And if we take a look at the goal side, Bedsy 60 on the season. He's definitely the best goal scorer in the league. McDavid at 54, 32. Matthews 50. And Cutter Gauthier 46. And now in the first round of the postseason, we're finally back in and we're facing the Anaheim Ducks. Things are not looking too great in this 3rd period. Trying to force a game 7. There we go. Gauthier, or Dylan Gunther, I mean, gets us on the board, but Gonchar will score. Oh, no. No, what are we doing? Vinny is absolutely selling in this 3rd period. An 8-4 lead. It was 5-4 to 8-4. Belchi scores, but I don't think it's going to matter as the Arizona Coyotes are going to lose in the first round of the postseason to Anaheim in 6 games. And Buffalo is going to win their 2nd Stanley Cup of the video, beating the Oilers in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Quinn Hughes would lead our team in scoring in the first round. He was the only point per game player. 7 over point per game, I should say. Luke Hughes had 6. Gunther, 5. Wozniak had 4. I mean, where on earth is Gavin McKenna? His first ever playoff run, 2 points, 2 assists in 6 games. And for Vinny, he was okay, but when it mattered the most in Game 6, he fell apart. Bouchard will win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross Hart Trophy, and the Norris to Maurice Richard to Bedsy. The Conn Smythe will go to Bowen Byram, George the Vesna, and the Selke to Matty Beniers. We pretty much have the same exact team. We got all the players back. We got Belchi, McKenna, Grebenishkov alongside Aginla, Doan, Wozniak. Then we got Geeky, Gunther, Butt on that third line. Defensively, I would like to add in some defensemen, but we are really running into cap troubles at the moment, but that is our decor. And in goal, Vinny and Boetinger, who's an 83 overall, 21 years old, still very young. Vinny's going to be the starter for now. I don't know how on earth we were literally like 22-9 at one point, and we fell apart as the season went longer. 40, 35, and 7, second last in our division. Arizona is cursed, man. Gavin McKenna had his first 100-point season at 22, 24 goals, 76 assists. Aginla had 76, 32 goals. Hughes had 70. I mean, I guess offensively we were just not good enough. We're putting up some numbers though. We had a lot of mid scorers. Vinny, there it is. That's the reason why we absolutely folded. Vinny had only 33 wins and an .899 save percentage. Connor McDavid will lead in scoring with 109 points, and for goals, it will go to the dog, Nathan McKinnon, who did have 56 on the season. And shout out to the Blackhawks. Connor Bedard gets his first ever Stanley Cup, beating the Lightning in 6 games in the final. Some things never change. Shout out to 2015. McDavid will win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. McKinnon, the Maurice Richard, the Norris to Adam Fox. Aginla will win the Conn Smythe Trophy. Nabokov, the Vesna, and Matty Beniers, the Selke. Instead, we're going to take Saliev and Brunicky from the New York Islanders for Doan, 3 first, and Dylan Gunther to clear up cap space, and there we go. I almost feel guilty saying yes to this deal. It took me a while, but I'm trading more players. We're going after Jack Hughes, or at least somebody in free agency that can put us over the hump, considering we're simulating so bad. So we got Belchi, a 3rd, 4th, and Daniel Butt for Joe Aginla, who's fresh off of a Conn Smythe, and Lardis from the Chicago Blackhawks. Trade rejected. So let me see if I can throw in maybe a first rounder to make this trade go through. A 2035 first round pick. Let's see, will this go through? And there we go. It has been accepted by the Blackhawks. We completed the Hughes trifecta. We have Jack, Quinn, and Luke all signed to the Arizona Coyotes in hopes of winning a Stanley Cup. So just like Vince Carter, I got one more in me. One more season to win this Coyote squad a Stanley Cup. We basically diluted our entire forward core, at least our depth. I mean, our top 6 is still very lethal. We got Hughes, Aginla, McKenna, followed by Aginla, Wozniak, and then Grebenishkov. But I mean, our 3rd and 4th lines aren't really that great. Defensively, we're very top heavy. Also, the Hughes brothers alongside Saliev and Brunicky. And then on bottom pair isn't that great. But in goal, Bottinger finally is now an 87 overall. The same overall as Vinny. So they're going to split games over the course of the regular season. I mean, we've only made the playoffs, what was it, once this entire video so far. So we have been bad throughout the entire sim. If you guys made it this far into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. I got to clarify that to make sure you guys get notify when I go live or post a video. And now one final season. Let's see what we can do. I put all my chips on Arizona, the Coyotes, the rebranded Coyotes, and let's see what they can do for me in the final season. All right, so thankfully we did end up making the playoffs. The last spot in the Central, 91 points as we went 42, 33, and 7. Chicago, yet again, were the best team in our division, and for the entire NHL, it was also the Blackhawks, who won 50 games, followed by Detroit, Ottawa, New Jersey, and Dallas. Jack Hughes had a monster season, 55 goals, 130 points, followed by Aginla's 84. McKenna had 81, so our top line definitely produced. Wozniak had 67, as well as Quinn Hughes. Grebenishkov had 66, Luke Hughes 65, and our goalies honestly weren't that good at 905 and 902 respectively. Vinny did have 4 shutouts, 25 wins, and played the more games out of the 2. He's also the more seasoned goaltender. Jack Hughes will end up leading the NHL in goals with 55 and points with 130. This is exactly why we went out, traded a bunch of assets and salary cap to sign him in free agency. I knew how well he simmed. He's a 96 overall franchise player. He's put up numbers over his career and by far had his best season on the Arizona Coyotes, so that says it all there. No, unfortunately, we have to play the President's Trophy winning Chicago Blackhawks in round number 1. That's tough. We're absolutely cooked. There's no way around it. This team is much better than us, and they have simmed much better than us basically the entire video. Now, things are not looking too great here in Game 6. Trying to force Game 7. There we go. We're back to within 2. A 3-1 lead for the Blackhawks. We did win Games 4 and 5 after falling down 3-0, so we're on a little bit of a roll. There we go. We're back to within 1. 9 minutes to go in this period. This is not over. There we go. Jack Hughes ties the game up. No, Nazar will take the lead. Are you kidding me? We crawled all the way back just to give it up. Oh, no. All right, let's see what we can do. 4-3 lead for Chicago. 3:20 left to go in the game. Will the Arizona Coyotes and their beautiful whiteout, will this be the last game and basically the only game? I don't think we hopped into a single one this entire video. That is how bad we've been after rebranding the Coyotes, but it is nice to come in here and look at the jerseys. Hughes, there it is! Jack Hughes will tie the game up at 4 apiece. Who else but the big free agent signing in the offseason, a second of the night and of the postseason. Oh, we now have a tie game with 1:35 to go. Most likely overtime unless something crazy happens here. And if overtime happens, I mean, damn, I got to sit back and watch a full period of the computers going back and forth. Emery coming in. Oh, no. Emery, clear lane to the net. Great save by Bottinger, who is in the net, not Vinny. So very different. 26 seconds to go. We need full pressure here. There it is, Hughes in the middle. What a save. What an absolute save by the Chicago netminder. The whiteout isn't crazy. I've never seen this many fans at an Arizona Coyotes game. That is how you know hockey in Arizona is back. Luke Hughes skating up the ice. One final rush. Please, Hughes, do something. The other Hughes brother cooking. Hughes over. No, why did we not shoot the puck? And it looks like we are going to overtime. Here we go in OT. I will be sitting through a full overtime period of the computers going back and forth and turning the puck over. If we don't have a winner after one, I'll probably hop out of here, but hopefully this can be done in one. Here we go. McKenna over. Aginla doesn't get a shot on net. Hughes is first on that puck though, baby. Jack Hughes in the middle. Aginla back to the point. Hughes again. Rip it. Somebody. Hughes. Hughes, the other Hughes. Somebody shoot the puck. We have the trifecta of Hughes brothers on the ice right now. 3 of them all on the same time. Great save by Bottinger, who's skating up the ice. Over to the other Hughes brother. Shooting, and a great save by Connor Ingram, I believe that is, in the net for the Chicago Blackhawks. Emery moves it up to Belchi. Oh, there is Belchi. We traded him to Chicago. Gets a shot on net, but an easy save. Gavin McKenna skating up the ice. The generational prospect. So-called generational prospect. He's yet to really... Oh, here it is. Aginla coming in. Aginla shooting. There it is! Jack Hughes will force a Game 7 with his 3rd of the night. A hat trick to keep the Arizona Coyotes in this series as we are headed back to Chicago for Game 7. Wait a minute. Why does Vinny have orange pads? What is going on there? I mean, EA isn't even hiding it anymore. 4-0 after the first period on 17 shots. Oh, 5-0 after 2. And that is all she wrote for the Arizona Coyotes on their comeback to the NHL. And the Anaheim Ducks would eventually go on and win the Stanley Cup, sweeping Boston in the Stanley Cup Finals. Where does Chicago make it to? They made the conference finals, ultimately losing to Anaheim. I mean, goddamn, we went 7 games with the Blackhawks and then just straight up get dominated in Game 7. Jack Hughes had 3 goals and 6 points. He was really our best player, and he was not even point per game in the first round. McKenna was a no-show. Aginla, no-show. Everybody was a no-show, essentially. And if we take a look at our goalies, I mean, Bottinger started every single game and had an .896 save percentage. So what really could we do? Luckily, Jack Hughes will take home all the awards. The Norris to Evan Bouchard, Michael Misa, the Conn Smythe, Sorokin, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Will Smith of the San Jose Sharks. And that is going to do it for this video. Ultimately, we were not able to win the Arizona Coyotes a Stanley Cup. 7 long years in the NHL as they've been brought back. And I mean, we built a good, solid roster around them. A lot of young guys grew to high potentials. Ran into some salary cap trouble. We fixed that. We loaded up in the final season, bringing in a 96 overall Jack Hughes. And unfortunately, we were a first-round exit, getting absolutely our booty cheeks clapped in Game 7 by Bedard and the Blackhawks. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you leave some support on it. I would like to say thank you all for watching. And until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.